The Left Show is not intended for youngsters. It's not intended for the sensitive. It's certainly not intended for right-wingers. Use your own discretion. Awful sweary.
The network children ask for by name. The Defenestrate Media Network.
The world's greatest podcast network.
It's Monday in America, and you are listening to the world's greatest political podcast, J.M. Bell's The Left Show.
You know who the best-looking person sitting up there was? Who was it with the cowboy hat?
No, J.M. Bell.
J.M. Bell. I don't know who that is.
He hosts a podcast.
Well, hi, gang. It's in a rather muted and somber tone today that I say, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the whole show. I need a root canal.
No.
Like, it hurts so bad, I know that's what's coming. There's no pill that's going to fix this piece of shit. But we did the comic book show and it got worse throughout. And then, to be honest, had I not let Tiffany steal my car for the afternoon to go help a friend out, I would have left already.
Wow.
But she's a couple hours out. So.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Ow.
That sucks.
Perfect.
That's the
fucking
sound his
goat.
tooth is making right now. That is the sound his tooth is
So
making.
let's see. Let's check in really quick. Get the housekeeping out of the way. How's everybody doing this week?
Doing good.
Who's first? I'm doing okay. Busy.
That's
I
good.
did my second jab today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
By the end of this
which
week,
one
Yeah, and
did
I'm
you
going to
get?
wear
I will
my
be
left
huggable.
show Pfizer. And I'm wearing my left show shirt to the convention center where I get my jab.
Woo!
Good on you.
Woo!
That's
Good on
great.
you.
Anything else happen, Clarity?
Yes. I got a surprise package in the mail.
I wonder what's in
the
it.
box? What's
Should
in the
we
box?
find out? Should we find out? Okay.
Open the
Yes.
box.
What's in the box?
Da, 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 da. What's in the box? Da, 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 da.
That was
Ooh,
really
a little
hard to
card.
open.
We have now moved on to being an unboxing show on YouTube.
Da, 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 da. Yes. Okay. Oh no.
There's a second
I'm
box.
gonna probably need scissors. Let's see. Oh gosh. Really? Did you
More
have to pack this
packaging.
carefully? Ugh,
Lots of
All right.
You
packaging.
can do it.
I'm super strong. I got
You are
the
strong.
5G strength from my first shot. So
That's right. Gave you 5G.
whoa. Let's see. Ooh.
5G
What
with
is this?
telepathy.
Ooh. I did get extra virgin olive oil. Organic.
Organic and
Yay!
extra virgin.
Thank you. Aw,
You know
I'm
why?
excited about this.
That's your Mother's Day present.
That's right.
Because you made me feel that last week.
Happy early Mother's
That's
Day.
awesome.
A month in advance, basically. Well, 3 weeks in
I will
advance. but-
take it.
If
This
I didn't
is
do it,
lovely.
because that's from when we were talking about goop.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And so I'm like, if I don't do this now, I'm going to fucking forget. So let me know if it's any good.
Great. Yeah, this is awesome. There's two of them. With we've got premium everyday, for the everyday organic
Sure.
olive oil.
For your everyday olive
Everyday.
oil needs.
And then we have the private select.
Oh, my.
Oh,
Oh yes, this is
that's
not
for your
every day,
that's for your
folks.
very special
This is
olive oil needs.
This is once a year. This is for every Mother's Day.
This
Thank
is for my
you.
birthday.
I'm so
It's
excited.
only on my birthday. My special birthday olive oil. Oh, I'm
So,
going down the road I shouldn't. All right.
Yeah.
Never reminds me of a Kids in the Hall skit. Is that the same road we're going down?
That's the road we're going down. Yeah.
Gosh, she got head. Anyway.
Gosh, got head. So anyway, yeah, talking hurts. Which is really great for what we're doing today.
Especially when you host a podcast,
Indeed.
as we say at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So we're gonna figure it out. But so let's do some news. Let's see what we can get through before I just fucking tap out. Because I would very much like to have a Patreon today. That's very important to me. So I can remind people that are part of Patreon to get their addresses put on there, so that as I'm cleaning out the closet full of prizes and sending things out this week, it's, oh no, you have another package coming.
Ooh.
Clarity. Don't make no mistake.
Not everybody gets the olive oil.
Well,
the next one's
not too long ago. It was either that or
candle. Great.
Yeah, no scented candle.
No, it's gonna be one of those little personal hang on a necklace vibrators.
All right, let's just remember I have no money.
those vibrators are expensive. Yeah,
$100 necklace vibrators,
$75
vibrators.
Candle.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are part of our Patreon family, I'm getting your care packages put together. And for those of you that don't have your addresses up, you have to wait till the next time I feel motivated. And it's been years since I was motivated to do this before. So I've got half of this shit ready to go, and I don't have addresses. So if you're on Patreon and you didn't put your address down, please put it down now. I'm not kidding. I don't even care if you were being altruistic and didn't want a prize. I have prizes, and I would like to get them to you.
We have a motivation window that's closing.
Yeah, the only people that I am having a problem figuring out a prize for is Doug and Sarah, because where I get my prizes from, they also subscribe. So I'm like, well, I'll just send them more of my stuff. They can add it with their stuff.
They can have the same stuff they got. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got some T-shirts and some posters and some toys and some pictures and I've got a dozen arrows up there somewhere. I might send a couple of those out. I mean, it's really going to be random as shit what I'm sending. Just so get your addresses up. I appreciate it. If you haven't joined us on Patreon, do it now. And you'll get something too, because it'll be Thursday or Friday before I figure out how the hell this stamps.com shit works out. It's not that it's difficult. It's that I think they set a scale. I just can't find it. I don't know. They want to know what it is. I'm not sure.
You need one of those inexpensive little digital kitchen scales. Yeah. Now you usually you just enter the weight and do that with USPS.
Yeah, since I don't sell drugs, I don't have one.
A kitchen scale?
Yeah.
I have a kitchen scale. I weigh everything.
Oh. That's weird. What are you dealing?
Strawberries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Strawberries. That's what the straw. It's cocaine. It's cocaine.
It's coke.
It's cocaine.
I use my kitchen scale a lot more than I ever thought I would when I started counting calories, because everything's based on either measurement.
Well, that's exactly it.
One measurement or the other. Yeah, and it's like, oh,
that's
you
what
need
I
to
meant by
this in
strawberries.
ounces. Yep. So I drop it on the scale and say, okay, that's this many ounces. Plug it into my phone. Okay. Yep.
So
no, that's exactly it.
We had a good thing, a good singular event.
Yes.
Happened this week. One, this is not a title change. It's not a sea change. It's not anything other than a specific and single thing. Or should I say a trilogy of things. with Derek Chauvin trial, in that they got him on all three charges.
Yes.
which was huge.
I was shocked.
I will admit that I was quite puckering all day long, expecting them to say not guilty on all 3 counts, or to say not guilty on 2 of the bigger counts and leave him with manslaughter or something. Slap on the wrist kind of stuff. That's what I expected to see happen.
The fact that he got his bail revoked and that they took him out of the courtroom in handcuffs.
Yes.
That was awesome to watch. What a wonderful fucking image. Much needed in this singular event.
Mm-hmm.
Because the same day, if I recall the statistics, the same day we got the hat trick against Chauvin, 6 black people were shot and killed by police that same fucking day in America. So does this fix anything? No. Is it justice?
Clearly
no.
It doesn't fix a damn thing. Yeah.
No. Is it a singular case of accountability for one person who did a bad thing? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this fucker is in trouble.
And it was a very high profile bad thing. It kicked off almost an entire year of protests. Mind you, there were still plenty of actions like Breonna Taylor and others that continued that just kept the momentum going. But the George Floyd murder, and I will not call it anything but that, no matter how he was convicted.
Oh no,
the George Floyd murder was definitely kicked off that season of we should have all been indoors, but some things are more important. And getting out and protesting.
Well, and if you'll notice, if you remember, come back with me. Let's go back in time just a little bit. That's exactly it. So last summer, and when we were watching these protests all over the country, especially as they targeted the George Floyd murder, was how many of we leftists were wearing our fucking masks when we were out screaming and yelling about racism.
Yeah.
And then you have a Travis Tritt concert where nobody's wearing a fucking mask and it's a fucking super spreader event and it kills off one of the president's cabinet members.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Is that we were out where we shouldn't have been out for something we should have been out about.
We were out being smart. We were being smart while we were out. Yes.
Yeah. I'll go with that, as it were. So the right wing, of course, has lost its fucking mind.
Yes.
That happened decades ago, though. So, yeah.
Peter Brimlow, publisher of the white nationalist site VDare, says that does anybody see a way out except for civil war, succession? Predicting that it'll come to blood. Michelle Malkin wrote on Telegram, Chauvin was sacrificed. He never stood a chance.
He's a murderer.
Thank you, Malkin.
Yeah. Yeah, remember her? Ugh.
God.
We sacrificed a murderer, Michelle Malkin. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Scott Greer, noted racist, said it appears White Boy Summer has been postponed.
Thank God.
Said that White Boy Summer would start with Derek Chauvin's acquittal, to which he added, why even remain a cop? The system hates you and only needs you to enforce mask regulations. Get a job that won't send you to jail for doing your job. Because
if
apparently...
you've got a problem with this, fucking quit. We don't want you on the force if you've got a problem with this conviction.
If you are thinking of resigning in protest because Derek Chauvin was found guilty, you are the perfect person who should resign in protest.
That is exactly what you should do. Yeah, just go ahead and lodge your protest and resign. Say tell everyone how unhappy you are that you can't just willingly kill black folk for no reason at all. Yeah.
The Klan boosting League of the South on Telegram said, and I quote ish, America is suffering from a bad case of N-word fatigue, and for that you can thank the Jews. What the fuck?
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah. The U.S., they said, the U.S. is a failed state with an organized communist criminal cabal for a government. If you're a white, middle, or working class, you have not a good future in the system. Oh, it's the late Dr. Samuel Francis predicted the state of affairs and called it anarcho-tyranny. What indeed is the meaning these days of a jury of your peers? Oh, I'm sorry. Did the jury not
Anarcho-tyranny?
also include... That's what they said.
That's
Anarcho-tyranny.
wow.
Joseph Goebbels called. He wants his propaganda back.
Yeah, no shit. So it's not enough. It's not enough. Three guilties, not enough. Not enough. Not enough. You know what else is not enough? According to Greta Thunberg, the world climate goals are bullshit.
Yep.
They are not enough.
I love
But
her.
just before the United States President Joe Biden's 2-day virtual summit on the climate got underway, Swedish activist Greta Thunberg on Thursday shared a video message calling out bullshit of the world leaders who say they said they're failing to take the steps necessary to confront the planetary emergency.
Yeah.
At the Leaders Climate Summit, she says, countries will present their new climate commitments like net zero emissions by 2050. She says this in the video. They will call these hypothetical targets ambitious, but when you compare our insufficient targets with the overall current best available science, you see that there's a gap. There are decades missing. It is adorable that I fucking love this kid as she stands there propheting my doom and knowing that, I'm a heart attack on feet. I am not going to have to deal with the problems that my parents made. And I'm Gen X. I don't have that big a fucking footprint. I don't fucking travel anywhere. I don't fucking fly anywhere. I don't drive anywhere. I don't do anything. I just kind of sit still and watch the world fucking fall into pieces. And have been trying unsuccessfully for going on 35 years, of both protests and activism. And I've just seen everything get fucking worse. I've seen it. Yep. Look at it this way. Mel Gibson, as we know now, is an out of the closet anti-Semite.
Yes.
I don't know, perhaps he's racist, but you go back to Lethal Weapon 2, and it was an anti-apartheid movie, for fuck's sake, that he was proudly a part of, is when he took out the South Africans. The South Africans. Diplomatic community. Shoot. And, now you couldn't get that movie made.
Right.
You could get that movie made because nobody gives a shit. It's horseshit. So, yeah, I did that. I went to my Mel Gibson barometer of the world is on fire. Is in a day and an age where anti-Semitism just. Oh my God! Look, the worst part. I think the worst part for me at this point is that I can't bitch about it on Facebook because the minute you say something negative about white people, they fucking suspend your account. But white people are the fucking problem.
Have been for a long time. When it comes to the climate goals, yes, they are bullshit. One holdout of hope I have is that technology, by putting money toward the technology that can reduce our greenhouse gases, will kickstart that technology to work even faster. That's what I'm hoping for. It's not necessarily always going to be true, but I would hope that we've seen strides taken where little funding was offered. Right after the economic crash and Obama took over as president, and he put out the big economic stimulus to all the businesses. One of the things he did was he had to fix GM, and he told GM, you need to have less gas-powered vehicles if I'm going to give you this money. You need to start
Well, yeah,
working
but
on
even
electrical
EV
vehicles.
is a fucking dichotomy.
Right. But
It
we
is.
finally are seeing that they are
Right.
almost ready to release their EV, and we're getting there. We're getting closer. And these are things, all these things are not the fix, but they are part of the fix. Because eventually
Yeah,
everything is sort of builds up until we're like, okay, we're no longer burning the greenhouse gases we were, or doing the greenhouse emissions that we had. We've created the fix, and other things are going to come in line with that as well. We have to figure out better ways of creating and maintaining our food supply, because we don't do it very well at the moment, and it costs us swaths of rainforest, or it costs us, we wind up with cow farts actually being a climate problem because we eat so much beef in this world. And there's things that will be changing as we realize more, as we are working towards sustainability, as sustainability becomes less of an economic burden for businesses. But it takes a long time, and that's what sucks, is it shouldn't have taken this long for GM to release an electric platform car. You know what I mean?
Okay, now here's the problem: is that while we're working towards these goals in a direction that corporate America says, "Look at us, look at us, look at us," we're doing it in dumb ways.
Right.
Because right now you charge your EV vehicle with power made from a coal-powered power plant, and you are charging up a lithium ion battery, where we get the lithium ion stuff from fucking strip mining.
Yep.
And we are causing more problems trying to solve a problem than we are in the other. And as far as cow farts go, they still aren't as much as corporate pollution is. And
corporate pollution is the biggest issue. Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't possibly do enough.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I will carpool. Carpool is smart. I am happy to carpool.
I recycle, but I know.
I work alone. There's no one to carpool with. And I mean, and in order for me to catch a bus to my job, it takes 2.5 fucking hours from my house.
We all do our part, and yet we see corporate waste just being a bigger and bigger issue as it goes along. It's always been a problem. We do our part feeling like we're doing something, but we're not doing what needs to be done when we go to work, because the corporation has their own way of doing things, and we don't stop them. We don't stand up and say we need to fix that. I've seen it happen on a small scale, where they, in a company I worked for briefly, the employees had kind of rallied together and said, let's do this. And basically they overhauled the break rooms to eliminate all paper and styrofoam waste, and plastic waste. And it was a really smart move. And the company liked it because it saved them a fortune on buying new paper plates and styrofoam cups and things for the rest of the year. But that did not account for half of what the corporation itself was doing that was wasteful in other areas. When they would manufacture the product that we sold, there was so much waste that came from that. And a lot of greenhouse emissions came from that as well. And we have to figure out ways to make that sustainable. We need to move to hemp-based paper, for example. We need to and hemp-based plastic, for example. We need to move to things that are more green and sustainable as we go along. And all of that has to happen. Just curbing emissions is a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix the underlying problem, and it will only come. We will fix the emissions. It's kind of like the fluorocarbons. We put a ban on the fluorocarbons we knew were putting a hole in the ozone layer, but we didn't ban aerosol when it came to other types of fluorocarbons. We may not have made the hole in the ozone layer any worse. Yep, we may not have made it any worse, but we sure as hell found other ways to fuck it up, to fuck up our atmosphere. And it wasn't necessarily the fluorocarbons that we're spraying from our spray bottles, but it came from other things that we did.
Yeah. So that's as Greta Thunberg says, is not enough. Also, not enough. Any kind of a mea culpa from Dan Crenshaw. You guys might recall Dan Crenshaw. He's that eye patch sporting war hero type that got himself elected to Congress. He's a
Yes.
Republican and an asshole. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not making fun of his injury. He's an asshole. People who get injured in war can be assholes. And Dan Crenshaw is an asshole. So he popped up on one of these fucking news shows back in January saying, and I quote, if the Biden administration wants to impress us, you know what? Double the goal. How about 200 million doses in 100 days? Said the dipshit with the eye patch. Okay, Crenshaw, where's your attaboy for the Biden administration?
Right?
Because we've passed 200 in 100 days. Asshole.
We've done that. Asshole, yeah.
Yeah. Got anything? Got anything there, buddy? Anything?
No.
Nothing?
No. He's not gonna
All
say
right.
a
Of
word.
course not. Nope.
So that, as it were, not enough. You know what else is not enough? Coronavirus denier Ted Nugent tested positive for a COVID-19, saying, and I quote, I thought I was dying. You know what wasn't enough?
He didn't
That
die.
he
Actually
didn't
dying?
fucking I caught the Chinese shit, he said in a Facebook Live video filled with racist.
Yep.
Everybody
You know what,
told me
though?
I shouldn't do this.
The ones, and he did definitely. I wanted, if anyone needed to die from it, it was Ted Nugent. But I'm glad he got sick. I'm glad he got sick to a point where he thought he was going to die, because there were so many of these assholes who thought it was bullshit, that it wasn't anything. It was nothing more than the flu, as Trump said, or it was just going to be. It was just not. It wasn't anything to worry about. And I'm glad. And I mean, fuck it. It took him how long to actually get it? Meaning he was actually doing things to prevent getting it this whole time. He finally got it, and then he was like, God, that about killed me.
Or
It's
he's
like,
just so
good.
odious, nobody will come around.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, that could be it. He's just nobody hangs around him because he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
I want
Let's do this.
Mississippi to be permanently ravaged by the coronavirus until they finally pull their heads out of their asses and start getting inoculated for it. I mean, they're just things I want to just see. Ooh, you just deserve it. And the people who don't deserve it are the ones who do things the right way and didn't do anything wrong and still got the fucking virus. Those are the ones who didn't deserve to get it. Like Jeff, yes.
That's me. I didn't deserve it. I was hiding at the house. We're pretty sure that came from the school. So let's talk about COVID-19 for a minute as we head into the break. We got about a minute and a half before we break, and then we'll do this on the other side as well. But they're bringing the Johnson & Johnson vaccine back online.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
The rarity of the complication is basically 1 in a million.
Yeah. It's 1 in 1,000 if you're taking birth control.
See? I didn't know that. Was that in the article?
And that's the reason why it was put on. The reason why they hit pause. They didn't say stop. They hit pause. The reason why they hit pause was they wanted to figure out what is the underlying factor that is creating these blood clots. And one of the things they discovered was birth control. Now they have a warning to give you. Yeah. They have a warning to give you to say, if you are this or if you are that, just like when we filled, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I filled mine out when I got my Moderna. It was like, are you allergic to any of these substances that are part of the vaccine? And I wasn't, but if you were, there's a good chance that you could have serious complications from just getting the vaccine, not from the actual, what it does in your body, but getting the actual vaccine. And it's like the same thing happened here. They push pause so that we get, they have a chance to study it just a little bit, make sure, okay, we can now give an accurate warning of who should and shouldn't get this. And then it's safe as houses for most dudes to get it done. Yeah. And it's interesting that it was birth control because that is
the young dudes.
Yeah, I think it's birth control is an interesting factor in that didn't come up with any of the others. So that's interesting. Yep.
Yeah, I do too. All right, look, we're gonna go to a break. We'll get back on the other side. More of the same.
More shit.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance, reminding you that when you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
This week on the world's greatest comic book podcast, Russell Crowe will play Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Zounds!
Shang-Chi released a trailer, and we've got things to say about it.
Lots of things. All the things.
Benedict Cumberbatch's face is a spoiler.
For my calm.
On TV, Doom Patrol adds more characters to the cast.
It's like X-Men, except different.
Maya Erskine is joining Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Penis!
Star Trek Discovery pauses for a COVID-19 scare.
I meant Pen 15.
In comics, Batman Fortnite is out of control.
I don't get it.
He-Man gets a prequel.
I also don't get that.
By the power of Grayskull, it's I, Adam, Prince of Eternia.
And many more announcements from DC Comics. We review Iron Man, Thor, Champions, Nightwing, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, Truth, Red, White, and Black, Geiger, and Women of Marvel.
Glows in the dark.
All this and Captain America 4. Face front, true believers. It's the world's greatest comic book podcast. Available Tuesdays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and thecomicbookpodcast.com.
It glows in the dark. Why wouldn't you want one that glows in the dark?
I want one that glows in the dark.
If you know what I mean.
We're here for your service.
You help me make it dirty.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
For some reason, you are still listening to The Left Show. All right, then, here's some more of that, I suppose.
That'd be us.
That's us.
Woo-hoo.
That'd be us. So I worry. I have concern. I have care. My kids got the J&J. You know, one of those being female is hopefully on the fucking birth control, or we're gonna have a serious fucking talk.
One would hope.
Yeah, and no, don't air the family's dirty laundry on the show.
We're not gonna go into that, but yeah, one would hope.
So yeah, JJ makes me nervous. I lost a sister to blood clots. Jolene died from a blood clot. Somebody
else I was talking to did get blood clots from. It wasn't J&J. It was I think it was AstraZeneca, because they were in Scotland. I was talking to him yesterday, and she'd gotten blood clots in her legs, so mostly just created bruising, but still, it's dangerous to get a blood clot because that can travel anywhere in your body, stop your heart,
right,
go up and hit your brain, anything like that. So yeah, not good.
It isn't. But blood type is not a COVID-19 risk factor in the United States.
Nope.
Nope. And an inhaled asthma drug may keep mild illness from worsening.
Yeah.
A very fucking expensive inhaled asthma drug. One that is so expensive, I have to order it from Canada.
But if you'll notice, thanks to fucking long haul COVID, I am now an inhaler guy. I can't. I tried to explain it, and I don't know if I've done it on before or not. But I can't take a deep breath. I can't do it, and it gets claustrophobic. I feel like I'm fucking drowning a little bit because I can't take a full fucking breath. And it is. I quit smoking. You're coming on to 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now, and my lung capacity was improving, and now. It's worse than when I was smoking. I can't fucking take a deep breath, and it starts to trigger panic. And so now, twice a day, I do 2 little breaths out of my little inhaler.
Which one is that? Is that bucinoid?
Breeze.
So it's albuterol?
I don't know.
It's probably an albuterol
Can't
inhaler.
read it. I don't have my reading glasses.
Albuterol, as an asthmatic, a recent asthmatic, unfortunately, albuterol kind of relaxes everything, so you're able to, the bronchioles open back up and everything. It's like everything stops getting freaked out by whatever is causing your asthma episode. Bucinoid inhalers, which currently the only one we get is from AstraZeneca. And of course in the United States, they've forbidden us to get to have generics in this state or in the United States. So to get the generic version, I have to order it from Canada.
You, that's why.
Yeah, because otherwise, you for the Symbicort inhaler that they make that's bucinoid, you pay $450. Unless your insurance covers it, and at the time I had an insurance that wouldn't cover it, and then I had and then when I dumped insurance, obviously nothing would cover it. So I went to Canada where I can get the generic for $60.
Hey, it's from AstraZeneca.
Huh. Well, they're one of the main manufacturers for that.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is why they can put us over.
I put on my reading glasses to try and read it, but the truth is I can't fucking make out what the hell these words are. Butyrosindy.
The trick is being able to read and then trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. My
that
eyes
sounds like
just
bucinoid. No, that sounds like the other stuff. That
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
bucinoid, which is what I use. I do 2 puffs of that in the morning, and I don't have an asthma attack all day. The only time I've had asthma attacks recently was after my first injection, because my body tends to react to illness by giving me asthma attacks. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So much fun.
Noted Norwegian COVID conspiracy theorist has Hans Garder, because there's a bunch of A's in the beginning of his name, has died of COVID. Oopsie daisy.
Shock.
It was supposed to be Ted Nugent, but this guy's just as good. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. This guy had it coming. Hans
really
Garder had a culture barn where he hosted COVID parties. The problem with science denial is that the truth is the truth, no matter what your opinion on the subject is, but not to worry. Chances are it won't make a difference in your daily life, but beware, it can kill you.
We had
the moral is
we had those at the very beginning of this of the pandemic in the United States. There were people having COVID parties to try to give each other COVID so they could, with the theory being they'd get it and be over it and be immune to it, like chickenpox.
It's not fucking chickenpox, you morons.
No, you get it, you get it. You get it, you get over it. If you get over it, if you don't die from it, you get it, you get over it, and then you've got 90 days. 90 days when you've got an immune system that'll fight it, and then after that, no. That's why we had to have a genetically modified injection that actually makes us generate the things so our immune system keeps fighting it.
Yep. So Garter, although not an American, says the article, this part fucking cracked me up, certainly behaved like he was.
Yeah,
he was an official of 2020 election theory, conspiracy theories. He had a beef with the Illuminati, but his real passion was COVID denial. As late as March 18th, he was on social media criticizing the massive measures aimed at preventing infection of something that will be like a cold or light flu, says the fucking... I would kill you myself, you piece of shit.
There was a moment at the beginning of reading that article where I said, wait, this guy's a Norwegian? He sounds American.
Doesn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
There's dumbasses everywhere.
Yeah, we do not have the monopoly on dipshit. We do not have the monopoly on that. I've learned that over the last few years.
Yeah.
As far as COVID goes, India's the one taking it in the shorts right now.
Oh, yeah.
Over 1 million cases a day in India, to the point where over 1 million a day.
Last I heard it was like 300,000. I hadn't heard a million.
I just heard it while I was trying to nap in between shows.
Yep.
Holy shit.
But yeah, to the point now where compressed oxygen, now gets an armed escort anywhere they take the supplies of oxygen in India because they're so short on it all. But yeah, a police convoy escorting a tanker carrying oxygen. I mean, it's Friday. Friday was the largest caseload, they said, with 332,730 new cases. But yeah, they're having a problem keeping oxygen up. And the other thing is it's right now, vaccines wouldn't help them. They need PPE. That's where they are in this, is that they've only got 8% of the population vaccinated. You know, that's still a 4 to 6 week whatever. When if they were to manage to just somehow get to 70%, the problem is their caseload is so fucking high, and most of the country is so fucking poor that it's just going to keep on causing problems, regardless of whether or not they had vaccines. They need PPE. They need people wearing masks. They need people not being American. And then you've got fucking Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin here in the U.S., who is now questioning the need for widespread COVID-19 vaccination, saying in a radio interview, "What do you care if your neighbor has one or not?" Ron Johnson,
I'd like
senator
to have
from
a conversation with them, you fucking asshole. Just because you don't like your neighbors. Fuck you, Ron Johnson.
Oh, I don't like my neighbors either, but I hope they get a vaccine.
Yeah, so do I.
They have a very sweet dog.
want
Anyway,
everybody to
Johnson, who has no medical expertise or background, made the comments on Thursday during an interview with the conservative talk show host Vicky McKenna. Contrary to what medical experts advise, Johnson has said that he doesn't need to be vaccinated because he had COVID-19 in the fall. Fuck you, idiot.
I hope you get
on
it
Thursday,
again.
you went further to question why anyone would get vaccinated or worry about why others have not. For the very young, he said, I see no reason to be pushing vaccines on people. I certainly am going to vigorously resist any kind of government use or imposing of vaccine passports. That could be a very freedom-robbing step. Oh, you just shut up. It's not freedom-robbing, you fucking turd stain. You cockbiter. Duh.
You know what? I do want to rob you of your freedom. I want anyone who refuses to get the vaccine, I want them marked so I can shun them like fucking lepers of old. I'm serious. I'm sick of it.
They're the
it's like,
ones
stop denying
robbing
science,
us of our freedom.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Wear T-shirts that say "I am a moron," and then we know not to get near them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not to do. We won't go near them. We won't do business with them. We'll let them be shunned. As far as I'm concerned, there should be social shunning for people who refuse to get the vaccine. Now, if you can't get the vaccine for medical reasons, that's a different story. That's okay. We'll work. We'll talk to you.
Yeah.
But the ones who just refuse because they're ignorant dipshits deserve to be shunned. It's time. Your time is gone.
Everybody in this state is. Everybody in this state, 16 and up, is eligible to get the vaccine, and we have tried to get people hired to do various work in the house once we're fully vaccinated mid-May. And I had a short list of people that we were looking to hire, and I reached out to every one of them and said, mid-May, we are good to go to have people in the house. Are you getting vaccinated? I can't find one. Not one. There is no goddamn excuse.
There's no.
I was over in the office here at the apartment complex, wearing my fucking mask because I'm a good person, and listening to the maintenance guys and the property manager talk. None of them are getting the vaccine. One of them was wearing a mask. The other two were not, and they're basically just like sitting there repeating right-wing talking points. Now, earlier in that day, two of them had been in my apartment, finally unlocking the goddamn air conditioner so we could change the filter out. And one dude's fucking nose kept falling out of his goddamn mask. And I'm like, dude, tuck in your fucking nose. Okay, I didn't say fucking. I said, dude, tuck in your nose. You're in my house. He's like, oh, sorry. And then 30 seconds later, his fucking nose is out again. And I'm like, can you just wait outside while your buddy, who seems to be able to wear a mask, can finish? he's like, what? I'm like, I'm not kidding. I mean, you have not kept your face behind the mask almost the entire time. Your other guy has. And so let's just let him finish and you guys can meet outside. And you would have thought that I'd called his sister names. But I'm like, I'm not fucking having it. I don't know you. I don't know what you do when you're not here. You could be going to the goddamn culture barn with fucking Gardner. You know, I don't know what you do, but you're in my fucking house to which I pay too much money to live in for you to come in and be stomping around with half of your fucking head hanging out of your fucking mask. Out.
Yeah, not in my house.
Get out.
We're not hiring anybody who isn't vaccinated to come into our house. Period.
Yep. So hey, speaking of an infectious stain,
I had my roof replaced last week, and none of them wore masks, but that's okay. None of them came in my house.
They're outside. Exactly.
They were out on my roof.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, if you get each other sick,
all right. I want to hear the segue.
Fine. Yes, segue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wonderful segue. Completely stomped on by the two of you, I might add. Apple is going to reinstate Parler in the App Store. Because why the fuck not?
Fuck.
There's just a little insurrection. It's not like it worked.
What happened?
We might as well put
it used to be restrictive.
Don't worry about that. They're coming out with a purple phone. It makes it better.
I've seen that meme. Okay. I have seen that meme. And it was somebody like, me up in arms over Parler's inclusion in the App Store. Also me. Ooh, the next one's purple. So that's a thing. Parler's coming back. I don't feel like playing this whole 5-minute video, which is what I was going to do. But an Idaho lawmaker, Idaho, just fucking Idaho.
That's all you had to say.
That just gives you context. That's all. Yeah.
If you don't live near Idaho, you might not understand. It's Idaho where the men are men and the sheep are exceptionally quick. It's Idaho, where internal plumbing is optional. But an Idaho lawmaker cites To Kill a Mockingbird as proof of critical race theory in schools. Representative Heather Scott called on a substitute teacher to illustrate critical race theory, quote, creeping through our schools, end quote, and pointed to the classic book as evidence. The book that basically says racism is bad.
Yeah.
And preconceived notions of race are bad.
But the conclusion she drew from reading the book, if she actually read the book in school, was just cracked me up. White people are bad, black people are victims, and that's what we're teaching our kids through To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm like,
what's
did you not
more
catch the part
where what freaks me out more is not so much that some dumb fucking legislator, because let's admit it, the majority of them are pretty fucking dumb. It was saying this. It was that they were quoting a teacher, a substitute teacher, but a teacher nonetheless, who said that the messages made clear that white people are bad and black people are the innocent victims, and students were encouraged to believe that there was an endless era of black victimization. Well, there is!
I was going to say...
It's
Derek Chauvin guilty on 3 counts. 6 people died that day. 6 people were fucking murdered that day. 6 black people were fucking murdered the same day we got the hat trick. It is endless victimization. And it's not victimization in the Republican sense of where they think that people are just being fucking whiny. It is they are isms. And racism is the official fucking word of the set governments and institutions of the United States of America. They're isms. They are propped up by the officials and the lawmakers. Fucking To Kill a Mockingbird. Fuck you.
Clearly, this substitute teacher comes from the panhandle of Idaho. for those who understand what that means.
Oh, up there in fucking Coeur d'Alene in Moscow.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I've told you guys that story, haven't I? Went through there on a motorcycle trip. 20 some odd years ago. And was just like, this is some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen in my life. I would fucking kill to live here. Oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so beautiful. And then we stopped for gas. And by the time we were done with gas, I'm like, I never want to come back here again. I never, ever, ever want to come back to Coeur d'Alene again.
Oh my God, Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene is so fucking gorgeous. And it is so
beautiful.
Full of racists. And
yes,
it is worse now than it was 20 years ago. But it took me 6 minutes at a fucking gas station to realize the lay of the land back then. And I was just a white guy coming through from Denver, on the back of a motorcycle.
You were just a white guy coming through from Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would if you were any other color, you would have had a sundown clause as soon as you arrived.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Department of Homeland Security watchdog decided not to pursue an investigation into the Secret Service during the Trump administration. And if you're wondering, you remember when they cleared Lafayette Square? Sorry.
Yes.
I was in Denver. Went to Denver for a minute. Laramie Square is where we used to panhandle, me and Mike. We used to go down there on the weekends and play guitar and sing on the street because that's where all the fancy, expensive restaurants were down there.
You were busking.
That was how you made rent, man.
Yeah, you busked.
It was like we'd play gigs all week to pay for guitar strings and food, and then on the weekends when we didn't have gigs, we'd go down and panhandle and make enough money to pay the fucking rent. Back when you could do that, you can't do that now. But the chief federal watchdog for the Secret Service blocked investigations proposed by career staff last year to scrutinize the agency's handling of the George Floyd protests in Lafayette Square and the spread of the coronavirus in its ranks, according to documents and people with knowledge of these decisions. Both matters involved decisions by then President Donald Trump that may have affected actions by the agency. The Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General rejected his staff's recommendation to investigate what role the Secret Service played in the forcible clearing of protesters from Lafayette Square on June 1st. That was the time that the fucking orange menace walked across the street and held up a Bible.
Bible. Yeah.
Held the Bible up upside down.
It's a Bible.
Is that your Bible?
It's a Bible.
It's a Bible.
So way to go, Secret Service.
Woo.
I trust you. Can we please get somebody else in Treasury to keep an eye on fucking Biden, please?
Yeah, they're falling back on the old we were just following orders mantra, which it's like, no, there needs to be an investigation of who decided that we were just going to follow orders was a good idea. Yeah.
Jawohl, Herr Oberstleutnant. At least 4 teens have attempted suicide after the Arkansas ban on trans youth from getting health care. And this is an older article. This is several days old. Who knows what that number's at now? This one happened just the day we more than a week ago. But at least 4 transgender teens at one clinic in Arkansas have reportedly attempted suicide in the last 2 weeks since the state banned gender-affirming health care for transgender minors. My families are in a state of panic, asking what the state should they move to, saying their child is threatening to kill themselves, said Dr. Michelle Hutchinson. They want to know what they should do next, and we don't have a clear answer for them. Well, the first one is, I'm sorry, get the fuck out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas is another one of those places that is just goddamn beautiful and is filled with such bigoted dipshit. And keep in mind that when the governor, Asa Hutchinson,
the state they should move to help their kids, they can't afford to if they've been living in Arkansas this whole time. Because moving to California would be a big leap in how much they pay for everything. Yeah.
Remember, Asa Hutchinson said the only reason that he was vetoing that bill was because it was government overreach. Not because it was wrong.
Not because it was wrong in every way, yeah.
Tennessee has passed a bill that would require cremation or burial of aborted fetal tissue. You got to put your zygote in a coffin.
They're still under that opinion that's the only place you get stem cells from. They still believe that there's been there's organ harvesting of fetal tissue. Yeah, they're still under that belief system that it was put out, it was debunked, it was proven false, and the source, which was supposed to be Planned Parenthood, was proven not to be doing it. All that was debunked, and here they are passing a bill that says, "Oh no, we still believe every word that was said by that stupid documentary group that made all that shit up about Planned Parenthood."
Fucking Tennessee. Fucking America.
Babies.
It's zygotes. It's zygotes.
They're not babies.
They're not even. I mean, it is. Do this. Tui. That's about what it looks like.
Yeah.
It is a boogie.
Yep.
That's all. What else we got? What else is the United States government doing? Oh, United States Postal Service is supposedly tracking social media posts for people that are being inflammatory towards Louis DeJoy.
Oh, God.
Well, you're probably watching me then. I didn't have anything good to say about Louis DeJoy. Yeah. I got nothing good to say about Louis DeJoy. The one thing I have to say is, why weren't you out the day Trump left office? Why are you still sitting there? What weird thing do we have with the Postmaster General that they stay after their president appointed them has left?
It's a board recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
it's recommended by the board.
And so it's like a 5-year thing, unless the board votes him out, and the board is full of Trump land.
Yep.
The majority of the board. So real quick,
Biden's trying to replace members of the board so he can get that guy voted out right away. But yeah, they've got a weird way of handling Postmaster General. Anyway,
let's see. Here's my obligatory tweet calling DeJoy a piece of shit. Human?
Take that, USPS.
Question mark. Follow me, fuckers. And then I will.
So now we know why the mail is slow. They're all paying attention to fucking social media to see who's saying what about DeJoy. Great.
The mail is
there
slow.
There we go. I have.
Yeah. The mail is slow because they didn't.
Yep.
They didn't
I have
fix any of the shit. We called them out for all the shit they did, and then they didn't do anything to fix it. Yeah.
Well, they can't because he's still in charge.
Exactly.
All right, we got about a minute and a half. Let's see if I can get some good news on. Val Deming says she's seriously considering a run against either Governor DeSantis or Senator Rubio.
Good.
She's seriously considering a statewide run, she says, and we'll see what happens. And I caught her on the news this weekend, and she's just like, right now it's 50-50 because people keep calling me, telling me what to run for, and it's one or the other, and I just don't know. And that's fine.
Run against Rubio. He's been there longer. DeSantis, I'd like to get rid of too, but get rid of Rubio. That would be my.
Well, and DeSantis is going to run for president, so he's probably not going to be up for re-election anyway.
Oh, that's a good point.
And even if he is, he's not going to pay as much attention to it. So yeah.
UK mother was arrested and locked in a cell after dead naming a woman on Twitter. Now, I read the article, and it's all, government overreach. And I'm reading it like, good. I'm glad they fucking did it. Lock her up. Let her spend an afternoon and be fucking
wait, the UK did that? The UK said, no, we're going to lock
her mother
ass up.
in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, I'm reading this and I don't agree with the direction this article came from. I just thought it was funny. A mother in the UK was arrested in front of her children and locked up for 7 hours after referring to a transgender woman as a man online. 3 officers detained Kate Scotthowe at her home before quizzing her at a police station about an argument with an activist on Twitter and a dead naming. Good.
I think that's fantastic. It's actually
You're
against the law to do that on Twitter in the UK. God, yet another reason I want to just pack up and move to the UK.
Yep. All right, guys, I got one more piece of good news. Capitol rioter was arrested after being turned in after bragging about participating in the insurrection on dating app Bumble.
Yay, Bumble!
The other Bumble user replied, "Yeah, we're not a match," and then sent screenshots to the FBI. So with that said, we are on our way over to our Patreon. Yeah, you bet. We're on our way over to do the Patreon, patreon.com/defenmedia, DEFEN media. Join us, will you? I'm sending out presents.
Yeah,
I'm sending out
not
presents.
olive oil, though.
So go join like right now, and I'll have presents for you. Yeah. It'll be awesome.
Make it so.
Anyway, with that said, hang in there, folks. It's not all bad. Like Utah's government's not in session right now.
Yeah, that's a positive thing. Real quick, Wednesday of this week is Worker Memorial Day. If you know someone who was killed on the job, that's a day to light a candle and remember them. It's not an official holiday of any kind, so we don't always remember it. But April 28th has always been designated as Worker Memorial Day. If as you are memorializing them, also remember to support groups that help prevent deaths on the job, because your job shouldn't kill you. Period. You shouldn't die from
I'm a fan of OSHA.
Yeah. You should not die from death. You should not die from work. So support unions, support safety organizations, support those groups that are there to protect workers. Remember, they're not out to get you, the worker. They're out to get your employer, who is putting you at risk. That is what they do. So make sure you're supporting those groups, and remember that individual that you may know who died on the job and shouldn't have.
Anything else, Clarity?
No.
Okay.
Go get vaccinated.
Go get vaccinated.
Yeah, do that too.
Go get vaccinated, ladies.
Go get vaccinated.
Go get vaccinated, ladies.
All right, anybody need to pee?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm in charge of all the events at work that we do all summer. That's why I know about Workers' Memorial Day. Because I've spent the last 2 weeks building
All right,
pages.
stand by. I'm going to go pee.
Okay.
Like a champ.
You need to kill the recording.
If you've made it this far, you might as well join us on Patreon. Patreon.com, defenmedia.
That's going to be a little video trimming.
More, at www.theleftshow.com.
No, I'm leaving it in.